Welcome back to One Man's Tracks for another review video about my review videos. This time, I'm going back to 2021, not last year, because I like to let the album simmer a bit, float around in my head, I don't know, marinate the tunes for a little bit before I really decide which ones are true standout favorites, which ones have stuck with me over the past year or so, and just, I don't know, give you a better idea of where these albums sit in my brain in terms of a ranking, because I don't put scores to reviews. I don't know if these are even truly reviews, but that's what I've been calling them for at least the time being. That might all change, who knows. Either way, here we have the 21 albums that I discovered in 2021 that I enjoyed the most. So we've got 11 honorable mentions and the top 10 that is actually in a specific order. So we're going to blast through those 11 honorable mentions just in the order that I reviewed them in, because I can't really take the time and organize these because it's all over the place. The genres, the everything. This will just give you a good idea of kind of the scope of albums I like to talk about, the things that excite me, and just generally the music you can kind of look forward to me reviewing. So, first, honorable mention, the KLF, The White Room. It's a banger. It's a good time. We go all the way to Scotland, I think, for the Soup Dragons here. It's a fun, sort of Manchester vibe-y, great little indie dance record, good time. We got Joan Osborne. You may know it for What If God Was One of Us, but Relish is jam-packed with just fantastic songs. I don't know, start to finish, I have a wonderful time. Great tunes. Don't miss out. It's on a lot of thrift shop shelves. Grab it. Try it out. It's cheap. Get into it. The Crystal Method, Tweekend. It's another banger. These electronic albums, this is definitely in another lane than that KLF. This album's 10 years younger than that KLF album, and it goes a little bit harder. It really drives it home, and I have a great time ripping with this album in the background. A lot of fun. Check it out. We're going over to France now for some French hip-hop from the 90s, and I think Bams was truly an unmined gem that I think had even more potential. She went off into a more French loungy kind of direction after this, but Bams, the album, I believe, is a self-titled album. Kind of actually hard to get your ears around. I'll go check out my review. It's linked over there. Some heavier stuff. We got Machine Head. It's a classic album. Burn My Eyes just goes hard. Davidian from the top just sets you up. This is gonna just have you going hard hitting riffs. Great time. Fantastic shredding guitars. It's loud. It's in your face. Try it out if you're into some more thrashy stuff. Heavier stuff. Let's go into the more rock direction. We got Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. They're Take Them On Your Own record, I personally think is my favorite of theirs. They've got a couple other great releases, but I'm just really soaked this one up. Have a great time with these tunes. It rocks. It got a great consistent vibe, and I dig it. Obviously. In a more poppy direction, staying with the rock lane though, we've got the Kings of Leon, an unexpected gem in my collection now, because I kind of had written off the Kings of Leon after kind of 2005. They were everywhere. I didn't really vibe with that stadium rock kind of thing they were doing, but check this out, and some phenomenal tracks on here. Milk, oh, just soft, oh, great record, great songs. Get into it, try it out. Dub, my introduction to dub music, The Mad Professor. This is a lot of fun. It's groovy. It's based out of that reggae funk vibe, and it's got fun little electronic interlude thingies that just keep it grooving and rolling along. It's interesting. It's pretty dynamic for what it's worth, and it's just part 9 in a big old series of dub me crazy releases. So, Mad Professor, Science and the Witch Doctor, a ton of fun, and opened up a whole new lane of music for me. We've got a singer-songwriter record. We've got Whip Smart by Liz Phair. I think
It's underrated in terms of her catalog. It's got so many fun songs on it. It's got some character. I don't know. I feel like Liz Phair kind of got a bit of a beating from that 2000s album she released, that first one with the Why Can't I single that, I don't know, sure, it gave her what she wanted out of it, but her previous stuff really grabs me. If you liked Exile on Guyville, don't miss out on Whip Smart. Try it out. The last honorable mention is the last review I did of 2021. It's the Neck Rose Tangled Up Live or Else combo album. It's a ton of fun. It's a different thing altogether. Again, it's pretty thrashy, it's rowdy, and it comes in a cool Ryko disc green thing, and just all around goes off, and I have a good time just thrashing around to this one. So those are the 11 honorable mentions from 2021, and we're going over now to the top 10, starting out with me getting a drink. AD, we get number 10 in this top 10, Arrested Development's 3 years, 5 months, and 2 days in the life of Arrested Development. It's a really fun, flowing, conscientious hip-hop journey that really expands the horizons of that genre coming out of the South. It opened up a lot of lanes for a lot of other musicians in that area, but kind of just was the last thing that was ever heard of from AD, even though they're still at it to this day. So don't miss out on the newest Arrested Development stuff, but go back and jam out to some Tennessee and Mr. Wendell, and ooh, just get all cozy and comfortable with this great album. Number 10. Number 9. Possibly one of the oldest albums I've reviewed. It's Mike Oldfield's second album, Omadon. Just a expansive instrumental that is truly a journey. It's beautiful. You can kind of slip it in the background almost anywhere, and it just fills a space nicely. It's gorgeous. It's an eccentric mix of tons of instruments. The man was on a different creative level, and he was making this kind of stuff. It is remarkable for its time, and it remains a fantastic instrumental recording to this day. So don't miss out on Mike Oldfield's second album if all you know about is Tubular Bells, or if you don't know about him at all, just jump into that early stuff, man. It is expansive and it is gorgeous. Number 8. It's corny. It's in every thrift shop, but man, does this album slap. Start to finish, I have a difficult time finding a flaw besides the one I mentioned in my review, the fact that I just kind of get overwhelmed emotionally by the first 8 or so, 9 or so, 10 or so tracks, that those kind of final 4, the shift in energy, the whole dynamic of the album kind of changes a little bit there, and the tracks are fantastic, but I'm so worn out that I kind of have to listen to them in a chunk all on their own. It's got classics that have been overplayed to death, but man, does this track list not continue to deliver pop rock bangers at their finest. So it sits here, number 8, Third Eye Blind's self-titled debut. Number 7, we've got Terror's Lowest of the Low. Oh, this is my favorite heavy album that I got into in 2021. These catchy, super in-your-face, just anthems that grab a hold and just really charge me up to the point of being a little overly aggressive, because it's just kind of what it demands. Fuck everything you believe, fuck what you say. I love this record, it goes hard, and then the live extra double up, it's an EP I think technically, the live part of it goes off as well. So number 7, Terror's Lowest of the Low. Heavy and hard, get into it, it's a ton of good times. Now I'm gonna completely different direction. The godfather of emo here, Jeremy Enoch of Sunny Day Real Estate fame, coming out with this solo project, Return of the Frog Queen, and it's a captivating kind of whirlwind of a journey here. You're introduced to all kinds of eccentric characters, and you're taking for this real whimsical and insightful adventure with a lot of fanfare. I just have a great time listening to it. I've come back to it again, and it opened me up to a whole other world of great, interesting artists that don't really fit in that emo lane they've been put into, and just all the acts associated. I've been having a ton of fun. It's so cool to see Sunny Day back touring. Maybe I'll get a chance, maybe not, who knows, but either way, my number 6 album from 2021, a fantastic discovery, The Return of the Frog Queen, Jeremy Enoch. Try it out. Number 5, a singer-songwriter that just doesn't miss. We've got Fiona Apple's Title, and I can't say enough nice things about this. The songs just endure themselves to me so well, and I just can't get enough of this gorgeous voice, and the melodies are so captivating and so heartfelt, and they just hit right where they need to every time. So every time she puts out an album, I'm going to be right there ready to listen to it. Fiona Apple, this is, I believe, her debut. I'm kind of losing my mind over here with all these albums, but get into it. Listen to everything she's done. It's amazing. Number 5. Number 4. Another artist, another duo this time that doesn't miss. It's the Chemical Brothers, and my favorite Chemical Brothers album, it's Come With Us. Check out my worst to best Chemical Brothers list over there. It's my favorite of them all. They're not ever perfect, I guess. I wouldn't call any album a 10 out of 10, but damn, do they rarely make an album that is anything lower than a 7.5 or whatever. I don't put scores to these things. I'm just ranking them here to give you at least some kind of context. But man, oh man, I can put this on almost any time, and it'll get me just the energy I need to drive on through whatever I gotta get going. So, Come With Us ranks at number 4 in my favorite discoveries. Well, discoveries is a shaky word for this one. I've been listening to it for a while, but my favorite reviewed albums of 2021. On to the top 3 now. We're rushing through. I'm doing it as fast as I can. I'm sorry if it's already long, but these albums got a lot to say. I got a lot to say about them. DJ Shadow's Private Press, number 3 in my reviews of 2021, and clearly one of my favorite artists that I discovered that year. This record, just the eccentric mixes, the eclectic ability he has to gather samples and find these all kinds of unique ways of combining them. I am inspired every time I listen to DJ Shadow put something together. It's incredible. It goes hard, it goes soft, it just pulls and pushes those heartstrings, and I don't know, I just love it. I think he's great. He rarely misses as well. I can't think of a bad DJ Shadow album off the top of my head, but I need to get deeper into him. This is another reason I'm making these lists, so I can find these artists that I really have made a cool connection with out of all these reviews that I'm throwing out there, which I think they're all damn good. This is only about half the albums I reviewed, and I had a hard time picking out this list either way, so I think I'm getting a little better at refining my picks and getting quality albums pretty much every time, so that's another reason I can't rank them, because it would just be a shuffle. I would constantly be thinking about the other things, so whatever. Either way, back to this. Number 3, DJ Shadow, The Private Press. I think this man is a really creative mind that has just all the right tools at the right time to just grab all these things and slam it together in a beautiful way that I couldn't have thought of myself, and that really has this way of being a cool ambience and atmosphere, and I don't know. I love it, I love it, I love it, and I need more of it. So, always looking out for more, but the secondhand shelves are pretty empty of DJ Shadow material, so I find myself pretty fortunate to have just found this. Number 2 of 2021. My second favorite discovery of that year has got to be Stereolab, and their album Emperor Tomato Ketchup is up there in terms of favorite Stereolab albums. Might be my number 1, especially because how many times I've dove into the metronomic underground and just danced my way through the entire project. It's so cool and so different than so many other albums I've listened to. The mixture of the French and the English influences with obviously everything else. Such a unique vibe and energy that this whole project brings, and really this band brings, that is just so intriguing that I am fascinated to the point that I bought tickets and went and saw them live. It was a bit of an overwhelming experience, the whole drive-in all the way there, and I had a bit of a unique accident in the week previous that made the concert a little difficult to process, but that being said, I still highly value that experience, and if they do come by again, I don't think I'll be able to pass up that chance to go and vibe with this really special band. So number 2, my second favorite album discovery of 2021 is Stereolab's Emperor Tomato Ketchup. Number 1, my absolute favorite album and band discovery of 2021 is Soul Coughing, and El Oso might just be my favorite of their 3. So excited to find this that when I saw the other 2, I scooped them up as well. I got the full thing. All I need is Lust in Phase, which I think is pretty great too, even though it's pretty much all right here. I think that compilation is just top tier as well. So, Soul Coughing, my number 1 discovery. It's rockin', it's funky, it's catchy, it's groovy, it's just got a little bit of everything. The lyricisms just twisted in this right way that I just can't help myself but join in and jam along to this Mike Doughty's fantastic little mind thing that he creates here. I've been recommending Soul Coughing to anyone that'll lend me an ear to throw a recommendation their way, because I think it is so fun and, again, so unique and interesting, and this cool chemistry that this band had that didn't really get along, but damn did they make some great albums, and I will continue to just treasure all 3, because man, this is a cool band that I just keep coming back to over and over and over again, and that's why it's my number 1 album of 2021. Thank you everybody if you stuck it through this weird little random list of albums that I just happened to pick off thrift shop shelves in a couple of years ago. It's really a little out there, so thank you for sticking with it. There's last year's 2020 in hindsight video. There's a playlist of those top 10 reviews that I made right here. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't, if these albums, this kind of weird genre mashup is something you're interested in, and hopefully I can introduce you to some random bands that I think are phenomenal. Take all the best care, guys. Rock on.